So today at Rayon, we're going to take a look at our camera mount system, our new camera mount project. So first off, it comes with, the camera mount's going to come in 3 different configurations at the moment. One has got this plate, right, which is plastic plate, Picatinny rail, and then a quick release mount so that we can take the camera on and off from the rail system. So the mount has a 1/4-20 screw in it, which is the same thing that tripod adapters have. So you can basically buy the mount set up like this with a tripod, with basically a tripod screw on it, and it has a little plastic rubber washer that goes in here so you can tighten your camera down. So if you don't have a GoPro or a Garmin, or you already have all the pieces and parts you need. The other option will be for the Garmin camera, which is basically going to be is going to come with all the same stuff and the tripod mount itself. So you can mount the camera to the tripod. Then all you would need would be the camera to put it on, and it just pops into itself and screws itself down. Pops into its little mount and screws itself down. If I can hit the hole here. There we go. Right, so that's second configuration is Garmin camera mount, tripod mount, quick release, rail mount, rail and plastic piece in the straps. The third configuration is going to be a GoPro mount, and it's basically going to be the same thing. You're going to get the base piece, the rail, all attached, the rail mount, and the tripod adapter for your GoPro is all going to come in one unit. GoPro sold separately, camera sold separately, but set up to mount to a GoPro, set up to mount to a Garmin, or set up as just a 1/4-20 tripod mount that you can install a different kind of camera on if you want to. So, and the way this thing works, it requires a harness that has at least 4 inches across the top spacing between the webbing, and then it just requires MOLLE webbing, or webbing that's stitched at least 1.5 inches on center, which is standard PALS webbing, 1.5 inches on center down across the top. So basically what happens is you put this on and then you weave it through the MOLLE and then you clip it back to itself. So if you don't get our camera harness or one of our harnesses that works with this, you already have a harness. Basically the big issue is these straps down here to be able to run the buckles through and tie the camera down to. The other thing is you want to try to make sure that the camera straps are lined up with one of the chest straps so that you can kind of secure it down a little tighter, and it takes some of its load out of this strap. So that's basically the way our camera mount configurations are coming. Those are sort of the 3 variations. The tripod only, tripod adapter only, the Garmin with its adapter, not the camera, just the Garmin adapter mounts, and all the GoPro mounts that make it work. So the issues we've had trying to mount action cameras to dogs before, and I literally have probably made 40 runs at this before I came up with something that I like. We have a couple things. One, the stability back and forth, they're all over the place. They walk all over the place, left and right, back and forth, and it just makes for really rough video. Now, the video on this is, a running dog in the grass, you're going to get the movement of the running dog in the grass. But because it's got some length to it, it stables out the platform, and because it ties into the dog across his shoulders, and it's got a little bit of room for his spine through the center, through this hoop here, it lays pretty flat, and you don't get much movement this way or this way on the camera without the dog moving. The other thing we did is, because it's got some height to it, it'll actually see over top of the dog's head 90% of the time. You'll get just the visual of the back of his ears, but that's about it. Now, it's not spring-loaded, short of what is within the mount itself, where the camera will do some moving if it's a little loose. So if it runs into something, the camera mount will actually take up some of that slack. So it's not set up like a Tactical Electronics or a TSSE camera where it's got the big arm and it's made to run into stuff. But for an inexpensive version of that, where you can drop this on a dog and you can get a lot of really good video of it, the mount is simple, The platform is really slick. It's really easy to use. And then if I want to take, and I've got multiple places I want to mount this camera to, if I've got a rail on any of those, all I've got to do is open the rail and drop this onto a different rail for someplace else. Like I've got one on a shoulder strap on my stuff, so I can actually drop this onto the rail on my shoulder strap, and I can put it right back to my dog. So I can move it around without a whole lot of fighting. Again, sees up over the top of the dog, stable platform, as stable platform as we've been able to find. Uses the Picatinny rail system, so it's a system that most guys have, works on your weapon, works on all kinds of fun stuff. A bunch of different accessories that you can add to the rail mount itself, and you can use this in conjunction with other stuff you have with the rail already on it. So anyway, that's our new camera mount. We're pretty excited about this sucker. And again, you can put a GoPro on here as long as you've got the tripod adapter on here. Everything sort of works with that system.